a little boo telling me she love me. I got this one, damn, it's gonna be a long night.
Hello guys, what is up? It is me, Prince of This, back here with another part to this wonderful series, What If Asta Was Yuta's Reincarnation? Overflow. You'll understand why it's called that in about the end of the episode, because Asta is too strong now. Very appropriate name. I want to apologize for not doing this for weeks now. It's about almost been a month, I think, since I haven't posted this, so I apologize, but here I am with it, and the One Piece one will be coming as well. So that's good. I will try to make some new edits. I learned some new things for Premiere Pro, some pop-ups, some new things for images. I'm gonna try to make it as fun as possible and add some effects in the background like you guys liked it when I did with What If Deku had Webbeer's powers. And without any further ado, let's get right into it. In the last part, the bulls have arrived at the temple and are shown to the priest, who proposes a game for the stone they're looking for. After a bit of bargaining, the bulls agree and the game soon begin, only if they get wine, food after. And the priest, while not aware of the true strength of the bulls, soon becomes amazed at their power and how Asta was able to not only easily beat Kyoto, but stop the Hammerhead priest as well. However, he leaves the priest for Luck and Magna to beat while he goes and does what he wants to. Lowell gets to fight Kahono and they reignite their friendship, and Asta finds out, much like everyone else later, that Grey is in fact a petite little girl who is super shy. The Eye of the Midnight Sun does not show up this time, and they win the crystal on their own with their own power. However, at the kingdom, the Clover Kingdom, Fuegoleon, while on a mission, will end up getting hurt. Asta senses this and returns to re-heal his gone arm, and he brought everyone else along, and after doing so, he goes to train, and the next day, the Diamond Kingdom attacks, but they are ready to counterattack. Asta takes them takes the lead, and with Rika, he causes a huge massacre, allowing the kingdom to win, and then the search for another stone started as the bulls headed to the kingdom, the witches forest, my bad, with Kruger, his wife Domina, and Marie, a student of Kruger. And their meeting with the queen is quite hostile, but as the Diamond Mages and the Eye of the Midnight Sun attack, the queen has no other choice but to ask for help. Asta and everyone helps as Asta has a one-on-one with Fauna and beats her before then removing her curse, bringing her back to normal. They then go help the others, with Asta ending up beating Ladros while allowing Mars to return to his normal self when he meets Fauna, and his eyes and life just kind of clear up a little bit. Of course, nothing is ever that easy, as the queen threatens to try taking Rika under her control using her blood magic to take control of Asta. This of course fails, as Rika almost kills her, but Vanessa changes her fate, and with her cat summon, she is spared from dying. Asta then pulls back Rika and almost kills the queen himself because he's pissed, but in the end, because Vanessa says that she's fine, everyone just kind of forgets about that for a while. They don't like the queen, but then they go home. "You're taking a break, Squirt," Yami says to Asta as he returns from a mission, and Asta would ask, "But why?" "You're gonna stress yourself out to death," Yami would say, and everyone agrees, saying this might as well be an intervention for him. And he would say, "I feel like you're only saying this because I keep dragging you to missions." As he says this, they all avert their eyes, making him sigh. "Whatever. Besides, the festival's coming up. I was thinking of bringing Henry along this time." Everyone becomes confused as Asta then says, "Oh yeah, he owns this house." "What? Since when?" shouted Magna. "I guess I forgot to say that," Yami exclaims. "How could you forget something like that?" they all shout. Asta then says to wait here because if they get too close, their magic will be sapped, as he then begins to run off looking for their mysterious friend. "The hell does he mean sapper magic?" Ghost questions. Yami then says Henry's cursed. Come close to him and he automatically does it. "That sounds really sad. No wonder he hasn't shown himself," Noel would say. Meanwhile, Asta manages to find Henry and enters his room. "Oh, hey, Asta." He would then run up to his bed and then would kneel down as he then says he found a new way to maybe free Henry from this curse. "Will you let me try?" Henry would smile, saying he trusts him, and Asta would say good, as he then holds both his hands over him. Slowly, a murky purple aura starts to be pulled from Henry, who begins to sweat intensely. I'm fine. I'm fine." Asta would then say to hang on, as he can see that he is clearly in pain, and soon all this murky aura would take the form of a creepy eye, and Asta would yell for Rika, who would then form and eat it up, causing a huge shockwave to shake the house. From below, as everyone senses this, they feel panic, with Yami then telling them to stay here, and he will be back. Was that the curse?" Grey would ask. "I'm about to find out," the captain would say. Back upstairs, Henry would sit up in his bed, able to move normally for the first time in his life. "Thank you, my voice, it doesn't hurt to talk." "I thought that was just a quirky thing of yours," Asta would say, and Henry would know. "It felt quite hard to talk. I haven't been able to talk this freely for years, but are you okay?" Asta would then put a thumbs up saying, curses can't affect me. Well, they don't affect me like they affect normal humans, so don't worry about it. Yami would then walk in at this point, about to ask what's up, when he sees Henry stand and has a look of shock as Henry would then wave to him, and Yami would begin to laugh. Wait till Julius hears about this. A moment later, as the bulls wait down below, they feel a new presence and coming down the stairs, and down walks Henry, now with a new haircut, being accompanied by Asta and Yami. Hello, I'm Henry. I own this house. The bulls then run up to him as they ask if he's good, and they introduce themselves, and Noah would say, I can't believe I never noticed your magic. Yeah, I was in a bit of trouble, Henry would say. And as they spoke, they sort of just got to know each other a little bit, and Gordon at this point would then walk up to Asta as he would then ask with a whisper how Asta cured Henry of his curse. I just absorbed it, there's not much to it, you know. Then how come you didn't encounter the curse of Weg? Vanessa would ask. Asta then asks what this is, as do the others when they hear it, and Gordon would begin to whisper, and Magna would say, we can't hear you. He stretches his head nervously. Asta, however, would listen and then say, apparently it's when you get horns from using forbidden magic. It's like a mark. I guess what I did do could count as forbidden magic, but I feel fine. Does anyone else feel anything different about me? Enough about magic already, Yami would say. The festival's about to start. Don't you want to use that new body of yours? Henry would then brighten up and say that he hasn't been outside in so long, and he'd love to come to the festival. So as night falls, the bulls head to the capital where many other mages arrive, as well as citizens, and there will be food, stands, bars, singing, and basically everything. As the bulls go off to do their own thing, Noel and Asta will be showing Henry around, while he was just taking in the new world he was never allowed to step into. As they walk, they then hear a familiar melody and see people gathering to a certain area. I think those are some people we know. Come on here, senpai. Noah would then grab Henry by the wrist and drag him over to the crowd with Asta running behind, and after reaching and making their way through the people, they come to find Kahono and Kyoto doing a performance. As Kyoto's movements follow and match the melody of his sister, they almost look like illusions. They seem too in sync and too perfect. That's amazing magic. Are they knights too, Henry would ask? They're temple knights from the Grand Mana Zone in the sea. Oh yeah, you told me about that. Well, they're really good, Henry would say. Soon the performance comes to an end with the two then bowing as they are applauded, and in the crowd they see Noelle and Asta clapping for them. Hey guys, Kahono would say as she comes over and hugs Noelle, and Asta would shake Kyoto's hand. I guess you're getting closer to your dream, huh? A little. Grandpa said that he was feeling bad that we lost, so he let us come here for now, Kyoto would say. We still have to prove ourselves, but yeah. And who's this? He would then point to Henry, who introduces himself as a fellow Black Bull, but he says he's gonna go do his own thing and explore since the group seems to have a lot to catch up on. As he leaves them, Kahono would then say, hey guys, why don't we have a double date? Noelle would then erupt with panic as she turns red, and Kyoto blushes because he has started to like Noelle, though he doesn't know much about her yet. Come on, Kahono would say as she links arms with Asta and says to follow. If you don't fight for him, someone's gonna take him. Come on, Noelle, Kahono thought. Seriously? What am I supposed to do? That's not fair, she just grabbed him away, Noelle thought. Kyoto, meanwhile, tries to get her interest, and soon the double date begins. Asta and Kahono have fun while Kyoto was just trying to get the attention of the so-called water goddess, but to no avail since she kept looking at the other pair. Soon they end up getting some crepes to eat, and as they walk around, Kahono would then whisper, Oh Asta, what is Noelle to you? As he was about to answer, the streets then filled with the crying of a child, as Asta would then see her crying alone, with nobles and civilians just walking past her not trying to get involved. As a matter of fact, they wished she'd shut up, saying that she was a nuisance, and they were muttering and whispering this. Mom, where are you? As she cried, she felt a tap on her shoulder and turns to see Asta as the crowd would then instantly become wow. Wow, it's him, it's the king of curses. Asta almost bursts out with a laugh. Who's the idiot who gave me that nickname, he thought. Hey little lady, want me to help you find your mom? The girl then recognizes Asta and will slowly stop crying as she nods, and Asta would then smile as he closes his eyes and focuses on the intense emotions of the child. Focusing on this, he finds the emotions of another radiating, and this pinpoints him to her mother because they were kind of resonating. They were both looking for each other, and he would then lift her up and put her on his shoulder. I found her. Hang on, okay? Asta would then walk through the crowd as he politely asked people to make way, and his friends follow behind him. He calmed her down so easily, Noelle thought, as she blushed thinking that Asta looked so cool, and Kahono noticed. Soon they find the mother, as the little girl then runs to her, and the mother thanks Asta. I never thought I'd be meeting the King of Curses today. Please, Asta will suffice. I'm not really worthy of that name, Asta would say. The mother once again thanks him and says that she's grateful, just as then she then sees something very important. She sees Noelle's brooch. It was a symbol of the Silva family, and as she points this out on the street, people become a bit nervous at having a noble in their presence. So what? It's just a family name, you know, Noelle would say. You should just enjoy the festival. This straightforward yet endearing answer surprised the crowd as Noel then knelt down to the girl asking for her name. It's Emma. Hearing this, Noel then smiled, saying, make sure to not leave your mother's side again, okay? Unbelievable, she's interacting with commoners? While they would have been weirded out by seeing this sort of action, the nobles cannot help but start to think differently just from the way Noel does this certain thing. And Asta would say to Kahono, that's what Noel was to me, right? Kahono would then say, yeah, with Noel hearing this and her ears twitch as she waits for an answer, and Asta would smile. She's like my little sister. This absolutely dumbfounds and breaks Noel, with even the mother being able to tell Noel wants them to be even more than that. Seriously? Is that all? There's nothing else? Kahono would ask. Asta then shakes his head as he runs off saying he's gonna go get something, with Kahono then patting Noel on the back saying it's okay as she comforts her. Thanks for trying though, even if the way you did it was a bit mean. Honestly, I wouldn't force it, Kahono would say. Asta probably knows, he's not that dumb. Noel would then say she's not gonna give up and the festival continues. Soon, Julius then walks out on stage accompanied by Marks and turns the crowd to him as they begin to clap and cheer for their king. Alright, thank you so much for gathering. This year I will be presenting the Magic Knight Awards. As you know, lately we've been in some trouble. We have found that the so-called organization hunting us is the Eye of the Midnight Sun. This is what they've designated themselves as. This would somber the mood a bit, but Julius continues, yes, it's not exactly the best of times, but in these moments we hang on to our strongest, our most competent, the Magic Knights. With these words from backstage walk out the captains who wave to the crowd, and they are welcomed with laughter, whistling, and applause. Asta meanwhile will be playing a shooting game as he asks Magna if they shouldn't be like just playing games and just attentively listening. And Magna would say, nah, even with everything you did, honestly, we might not even get 4th place. Nobles will be nobles. Well, that's kind of sad, he said as he then got a shot in and hit his target, and Magna then cheers. Now that is awesome. Those are the things that matter. Julius meanwhile begins to show the rankings as he pulls up the Golden Dawn. First place is the Golden Dawn with 125 stars. Damn, look at all those accomplishments. They went way above and beyond this year. The Golden Dawn cannot be topped. The Golden Dawn has also gotten quite a good recruit, Julius would say. He has contributed the most, so come on out, you know. Walking on stage, Juno then carries along Belle with him getting nothing but attention and praise, and this angers Alexandra, but Mimosa and Klaus could not be more happy. Langris is more so just kind of calculating everything. He's trying to think everything more logically, because Yuno is useful. He just doesn't like his attitude, or not that Yuno has any, he's just a dick. But yeah, Asta notices this as well and would be really happy for his little brother as he would then wave from him from the crowd, with Yuno then noticing and smiling. And now we move on to second place, Julius would say, with some then assuming that the Silver Eagles or the Mantises would be coming up, but the name that comes up is the Black Bulls with 123 stars, leaving everyone shocked when they see the list of things they had done. Seriously? This is real? Doubting the Black Bulls' ability, they cannot just accept everything, but then they start to notice on the list there was the following, taking out the majority of the Diamond Mages involved in the attack. Wait, does that mean, yeah, the King of Curses is on the Black Bulls team? Julius is then about to say something when beside him then appears the supposed king as he then scratches his head nervously. It was a team effort, you know? Seeing him appear, the crowd would just burst with cheers and more cheers and more cheers, and they would say, I can't believe he's from the Black Bulls. I heard he has no magic. Then how does he do what he does though? That's what makes him amazing. Who cares? And Seki, as he watches this, sees that nobles are more normally like arrogant and just like ignorant, but right now they're just ditching their usual reactions and they're accepting Asta despite knowing he's a commoner. It's very obvious. They don't care if he's a commoner, he thought. He's honestly baffled as Yuno would then say to Asta, hey, you sure you still don't feel like becoming Wizard King? Not with the title like the King of Curses. Yuno would then laugh, saying that name is pretty ridiculous, but it fits you. When you embrace it, it feels a bit less embarrassing. I'll just take your word for it, Asta would say. It had never felt more right to be where they are currently, receiving props for what they had done as knights, and it was surprising even for Asta that he had come so far, because he thought people would be more ignorant, you know. I guess a few instances of seeing Rika was too much for them. Julius would then say, alright now, I will list the other ranks. Third place are the Silver Eagles with 95 stars, 4th place are the Blue Rose with 83 stars, 5th place are the Crimson Lions with 76 stars, 6th are the Green Mantises with 69 stars, 7th are the Coral Peacocks with 67 stars, 8th are the Purple Orchids with 51 stars, and the 9th are the Aqua Deer with 49 stars. We're last? Dang it, how did you get so many stars, he say, as Rill of the Aqua Deer would then hang on to Asta, just like shaking him, and Asta would say he just worked really hard and a lot. That's not an answer. It's the only answer you need, Asta would say. From the towers, Asta and Nebula watched this. They could not believe their eyes. I can't believe the squashies ain't got anything. What the hell is going on? Solid thought. I wonder what underhanded tactics that commoner used, Nebula thought. Merlin would then think, those damn fools, this is a disgrace. Obviously thinking about the Crimson Knights. And Julius would then say, alright, now that you're all riled up, here's the man you've all been waiting for. The king of the Clover Kingdom, or Majesty. Please take the stage. Wait, what king? I thought that was Julius, said. He then looks to Asta, who will be just as confused as he shrugged his shoulders. And as the man walked out, the king, he would be dressed in gaudy clothes, wearing jewelry as he raised his staff into the air. Praise me, my subjects, he thought, with a smug look, but that look turns to one of anger when he sees that they are all disappointed by his entrance. Praise me, damn it! I'm the king. I'm worth far more than any wizard king. I am the most important member of this country. Glorify me. His daunting screams leave everyone baffled and unable to even respond in any way because they don't know how to. The king himself will be out of breath due to the fact that he's also not very fit, and they'll be saying, like, honestly, why do we even need another king? Yeah, I'm fine with the wizard king just being the king. Sir Julius is competent enough. This bastard's hogging up all the glory, the king thought. Fine, I'll tell you something interesting. We have found the hideout of the Eye of the Midnight Sun, he uttered. These words indeed pull in the people who become interested, as the king would then declare that with the demand and the authority of his royal name, a new order of knights will be formed to raid their base after a certain exams. This does give him the attention he wanted, but it doesn't last long since everyone goes back to cheering for Julius, and Asta and Yuta will start leaving backstage. It's nice to meet you again, Asta would say to Belle, and Belle, however, would just keep looking at him suspiciously, leaving Asta unable to know what to do as he began to nervously sweat. I still don't trust you. Since when was I untrustworthy? Asta would say. If I say I have a feeling she'd rip me up to shreds, which is another reason why I don't trust you. Asta, however, says that's not how Rika works. She doesn't work off of provocation. She only releases herself when she feels like I'm being threatened directly. And I've gotten a bit stronger, so she won't rampage like that, like she used to. Stronger how? Asked. Asta then laughed, saying that he'd have to just wait, just as they didn't hear screaming. You goddamn idiots! They arrive at the bottom of the steps, see the Crimson Knights, Crimson Lions being scolded by Merliona. Oh, it's Captain Fugleon's replacement, thought. As they knelt down before her, the Crimson Knights cannot even argue against her. He did all of that, but he leaves for a bit, and you just give up? Huh? No, we were just what? That stupid brother of mine can't even raise a good squad. Hearing this instantly makes Leopold just seethe, as he would then yell that that's not true, only for Merlin to strike him across the face, saying, Then show me he taught you well. These words reached the young knights, who gritted their teeth and promised to be better, and Merlin would then say, Good, now oh, it's you two. She turns to see Asta and Yuno tiptoeing away, as they then nervously turn and look at her, with both of them saying, Hello. They're then grabbed by Merlina's fire paws, as she then lifts them up and over, saying they will be joining in their training. Of course, if that's what you want to do. This doesn't feel like you're asking, Asta would say. Man, she's tough. I can't even escape, thought. Hey, let go of Belle yells as she gets up in Merlina's face, who then flicks her away. I thought you wanted to get stronger. This is perfect for you maggots. Leopold then stands saying, Please join us, as selfish as it may be to ask. We need someone to challenge us and for us to go against. Well, I don't really mind, but I don't have mana. That's fine, you can fight. That's enough for me, Merlin would say. I don't really mind either, but can you let me down, asked. Alright then, I'm gonna need more of you. Let's make this a field day. She's not listening at all, Betu thought. Going around and gathering more magic knights and captains, Merlin would soon take them to the grand magic zone of mana, composed of magma and heat. Present are all the Crimson Knight mages, and Yami, Charlotte, Sol, Noelle, Asta, and Why are we here? Noelle would ask, and Merlin would then say, Did I hear something? And Noelle would then shake her head in fear, as she would then say, Alright, here's the deal. This is the grand mana zone, so mana is abundant here and dense at the same time. And of course, harder to control. Of course, that doesn't apply to certain others, but for you it will matter a lot. Make it on top of that mountain any way you want to. I don't care. Just do it. That's all. And why am I here? Yami would ask. You really want your own members surpassing you in strength? Hearing this, Yami would then look to Asta, who'd be getting ready to go, and he would then throw away his cigarette, bring out his grimoire. Yeah, as if. Well, I admit that you're strong. I will not be losing to you or your brother, Asta, Charlotte says to who will then explode with mana, saying that he is just going to have to show her that she never had a chance to begin with. Merlin then says to begin, as the four will then disappear, and they start running across the terrain, bursting with magma. What are you doing? Get down there, you idiots, Merlin yells, and she kicks Leopold forward, and the others then start to run forward of their own volition. However, they come to a stop when they almost step on magma, and they say, we can't even get close, there's too much heat.
They began to sweat more and more while staying stationary, and the other four moved further and further. As for the other four, more specifically Asta, by covering his entire body with cursed energy, he makes it so that his feet don't sink into everything. And as he ran and ran, he took another step and he had to quickly jump away, but the guys are shooting out a bunch of lava, and this keeps happening and happening, and the same goes for the others, who avoid it until they truly start to climb the volcano, with Asta then already taking the lead. Along the way, however, he is the first to meet the beasts generated by the Grand Mana Zone, and he would then create this creature made of heat, lava, and magma, just everything. So that's why this is a Grand Mana Zone, Asta would say, as he would then swing, releasing a slash of cursed energy that slashes the monster in two, but it also releases far more damage than he actually expected. I have too much cursed energy. It's like in my young days. How are they not being affected by the heat? The knights asked, as they were not even sinking or anything or even being bothered. They weren't even looking like they were struggling. Leopold then actually notices something and points out that they're surrounding themselves with mana and using it as armor, and the same goes for Asta, but he only has cursed energy. Mana skin. You're gonna need it, Merlin would say. I'm not gonna help you though. She's a demon, they all thought. And quickly, though, they have no choice, so they gather all their mana and manage to take a step forward and advance, at least managing to run, but they're still not used to it yet. Meanwhile, Asta is caught up to by Charlotte and Yami, who will be covered with mana skin, and notice Asta has also covered himself in some sort of layer. So that's how he protects himself, Charlotte thought. Oh, hi, Captain. Miss Rose. What a wonderful day we're having, huh? Are you trying to be sarcastic? Asked Yami. No, I'm being serious. It's a good day when your friends can gather like this. Unless I'm wrong about you two. Merlina Senpai is completely out of the question, though. Friends? Rose thought. We seem like friends to him? Wait, that's a good thing. But what if he sees me on nothing more? Oh! She would just be having a little panic attack while still keeping herself stoic, and Yami would then say that he considers them friends, since they did have a little drink during the festival, which surprises and relieves the captain. Good to know, but now I'm gonna have to leave since our little talk is over. Let's go a little faster, he thought, with him then upping his speed, and before he even knows it, he appears right above the volcano, shocking everyone and surprising himself. Wow, that must have been some curse, Asta thought. He would then uncontrollably just move around, as he would then slam into the volcano, and he would then skid until he finds his face above a pool of hot water. Yeah, I need a bit more training. That idiot got so strong, he doesn't even know how to control it. Interesting, Merliona thought. So that's what he meant, huh? You know what else? Well, even he seems surprised. Belle, let's do it now. As the spirit nods, Yuta would then become covered with mana of the wind spirit and enter spirit dive, tripling his overall power and most importantly, speed, as he proceeds to blast past the captains who were left surprised. He's using the power of the spirit, Charlotte thought. Quickly chasing after him, the captains actually end up losing to him in speed, much to their own regret, and Yuta would then land down seeing Asta waiting for him. Hi. What the hell was that? Yuta would ask. And as he does, Yami along with Charlotte would then land, and Asta would then say, apparently breaking Henry Senpai's curse boosted me. Like a lot. Yuta would then come over asking who Henry was, and Asta started to explain what happened until everyone soon makes it, which took about several hours, but they do. So would then separate the hot spring, allowing everyone to rest a bit, also because she wants to protect the chastity of her big sis. And as they soak in the spring, on the boys' side, Leopold would then approach and ask Asta, I never got to ask this, but will you be my rival? Sure. Yes! Asta would then ask why, and Leopold would say, I underestimated you greatly at first, to be honest, but when I saw you for the first time fighting, I was so scared, but amazed that I froze. There's no way I wouldn't want such a man as my rival. Oh, that's why you froze up. So you weren't scared of Rika? No, she completely terrifies me. Fair enough, Asta would say, with an almost sad tone, freaking out Leopold, who would then ask if he said something wrong. Yuta would then say, to Asta, Rika means much more than just a summon or a spirit. I don't know why, but that's why I try my best to be nice to her. Eventually, I started liking her. That's gross, you have a thing for your spirit, kid, Yami would say. It's not gross. Rika's beautiful, you know? That thing? All the men would say. Sighing, Asta would then say, Rika, show them your true form. Well confused by this, they start to see shimmering petals fall, and they look up to see Rika. The girls notice this as well, wondering what is going on, when they are then wide-eyed to see her take a much older human form. She's beautiful, thought Noelle. That spirit has another form? Or is it a transformation thing, Merliona thought. On the other side, the men are just starstruck. She's human, you know what say? What exactly is going on here? The fiery Leopold would ask. Majority of them would be left blushing before Rika then retakes her monstrous form and roars at them, causing them to scream in fear like a bunch of little girls, with Yami then telling them to shut up, as Asta would then begin to laugh when Rika flies back to Asta. Did I look pretty, Yuta? You looked amazing, Asta would say. Sorry I told you to do that. It'll never happen again. You're fine just the way you are. Yami would then say, yep, still weird. But he would smile knowing that Asta has a much deeper bond with Rika than he originally thought, and it almost makes him proud to see this in action, how loving Asta is. After this, their training continues with Asta interacting with Rika much more to have himself balanced out. One thing that people tend to forget is that Rika is literally just another extension of Asta's cursed energy, or in this case, Yuta's cursed energy. She just so happens to be aware of herself. That's why she's special grade. But Yuta made her. Like, he made a special grade curse. She is essentially his little gourd to keep all of his immense cursed energy. But yeah, you know what I'm saying. Asta is OP. So after learning Mana Skin and getting help from Asta, Noel and Leopold up their magic to a whole other degree, and Yuta perfects his spirit dive. The other magic knights do as well, and that includes the captains who fought Merleona, but Asta never got to fight her. She said that, surprisingly, she did not want to fight him, at least not yet, but she never gave her actual reason. Days later, all the magic knights gathered at the Colosseum ready for the Royal Knight exams, and they would come up from all types of squads, and they were looking to show off their prowess and also defeat the Eye of the Midnight Sun. Magna, Fenrir, Luck, and Noel, however, as they're gathered, noticed that Asta isn't even here yet. He said he was going to do some extra training. You think he got lost? Asked Luck. No way, it must be something else. Magna would say. Rika going berserk? They then come up with a bunch of other scenarios, but just can't adjust to one, as Alidor would be also wondering where this commoner was. I've gotten stronger since then. I won't fall like before, he thought. King of Curses? Please. Others wonder the same thing, thinking that the King of Curses wouldn't miss such a chance since he had many encounters with the organization. Julius then makes himself known, walking out on the balcony by this point with Marx at his side, and everyone instantly salutes. It's good to see all of you here. No, I will explain this part myself, the King of the Clover Kingdom would say, as he then walks out with a smug smile. As he is seen, however, instantly a paralyzing pressure sets in, with everyone's eyes trailing out to see Asta march into the area. His every step makes their heart thump faster and faster, and he would have Rika form behind him like a guardian devil. Alidor's previous arrogance completely fades, and Yuno mentioned this to him once. When Asta makes an entrance, you'll know. Now he understood what he meant. This pressure, however, fades, and Asta would then say, "Oh, sorry about that, I'm still getting it under control." They all simultaneously then let out a sigh, and will be sweating heavily. It's hard to believe she can look that beautiful, thought Noel. She's terrifying today for some reason. This is the power of the cursed king? How could someone do that with no magic? He even has his spirit out. Asta would then nervously make his way to his friends, with everyone then making way, with Rika also snarling at them until he reaches the bulls. What the hell were you thinking? Whispers Finral. Sorry, okay? I still need more training. Big interest as usual, huh, Asta? The boy then turns around and towards the Wizard King as he apologizes, and Joyce would then say not to worry as he then looks back to the collapsed king and he slightly laughs. Alright, we'll get to it. Essentially speaking, this is a team battle. You and your team of 3 will be positioned on opposite sides from your enemy. The first to take out the other's crystal is the winner. We have made things this way because we need you to work together when it comes to the terrorists. Oh yes, that makes sense. How is he gonna work with others though? And they all look to Asta, and they can already see that his look of anxiety actually faded. He's not looking nervous or like nerve-wracked. He looked dead serious and professional as hell. And this makes them straighten up as well, because their fear should not be something that stops them and makes them yield so easily. I'm a magic knight, like Dora thought. This must be you testing me, Asta, but I won't give up, thought the fiery Leopold. We all came here to show what we can do. This thought resonated with everyone in the Colosseum, with Julius and Mars noticing their change in attitude. It seems you were right about this effect that he brings, Mars would say. Well, of course, that's why he's the king of curses, Julius would answer. Seeing them revved up, quickly he has Mark show the teams with, his magic, and Asta and Mimosa end up being together with a certain other mage. As she comes to meet Asta, Mimosa would then say hi, and hi Rika. Rika would then wave back, with Mimosa saying she's excited to be on Asta's team, and Asta would say me too, but who's Zerx Lugner? Excuse me? Hearing this loud, turbulent voice, everyone turns to see a rambunctious, frankly intimidating man slide down the walls of the Colosseum as he then lands beside Julius, putting his arm around him. Sorry, I was a bit caught up, King. Name's Zerx Lugner. Marx then attacks him with a magic bullet, only for him to dodge, as he then says to be respectful, and as Aura lands, everyone instantly starts to berate him. First you're late and then you act insolent? What do you think you're doing being so disrespectful to our king? Alright, everyone calm down please, the king would say, and Zerx would then say, so, everyone likes the Wizard King, huh? Well, I don't give a damn. He hasn't earned my respect, so don't push your bullshit on me. He instantly makes everyone hate him even more, and they start to hold contempt towards him, while Julius tries to calm them down, and this is when he then approaches Zerx, or Zora, approaches Asta and Mimosa, and instantly he becomes more careful when he sees Rika. However, he keeps the same demeanor. I heard you call yourself the King of Curses. Nice to meet you. As he holds his hand out, Asta would then shake it, saying, "Oh, I don't call myself that. Actually, it's just a title everyone forced on me. I don't deserve it." As they release their grip, however, Asta finds a stink bug in his hand, whose stench then stings his nose. Ah, it hurts! Seeing this happen, everyone gets freaked out, cowering because they think Rika's about to go crazy, but then nothing happened, with Asta then throwing away the bug. What the hell was that for? I don't like you? People like you always try to kiss ass to nobles. Mimosa would then say, "What? Asta doesn't." Asta, however, would stop her, saying it's fine, but then it gets a bit serious. "Do this during the battle, and I'll take care of you myself." Releasing a handful of bloodlust, he makes Zora step back a bit, but he still smiles, saying he'd love to see him try. I thought she was gonna attack. Good. But is Zerk's Lugner truly like that? He's much more different than the rumors say. The following teams are then established for our known characters. I don't care about the others. I'll just say them as time goes on. And Team P consists of Yuno, Noel, and Enregard. Team C consists of Kirsch, Sol, and Magna. Team K consists of Klaus, Luck, and Angel. Her full name is Pole Angel. Team E consists of Leopold, Finro, and Hamon. Team O consists of Solid, Alekdora, and Dimitri Blint. Using the spatial magic information in Kobe, they pass through a portal and on the other side find a wide terrain made of a bunch of other fighting terrains that will be filled with floating crystals in place for their fights. As the fights are set, Solid will then grin, seeing his chance to crush Noelle because they will be fighting her soon. I'm gonna destroy it. However, as he looks to Noelle, she would already be staring him down in a way that made his whole body shiver. She is directly looking at him with such intensity, he felt a dragon was about to eat him up. What happened to her, he thought. She's supposed to fear me. The first fight is Team B versus Team A. The other knights wait their turn, lined up watching everything from afar, and above, while excited, Julius would then watch as Alan the healer stays on standby. And the king, who Marx had dragged through the portal, then wakes up in his seat, and the first thing he sees is Asta readying to fight with Mimosa, while Zerx was just sleeping, and instantly he gets up. That bastard, get him! Get him now! Alerted by his screams, all the knights then see the king order them to execute Asta, and they look at him like he's stupid, just as the Peep King then hears a gigantic explosion and becomes straight-faced as he sees the forest part of the area destroyed, partly by Asta, who charges with Mimosa holding the crystal, and he is shocked and becomes quiet. You want us to kill him? Please, they all thought. Team A, meanwhile, as they fire more shots, wonder why Asta hasn't taken them out, with Asta then continuing to parry their attacks to the side instead of just destroying them. What the hell is your goal, they yell. They almost look anxious, but Asta would say, this is more than just an exam. You need to work together. I would not be taking everything on myself because I have Mimosa to back me up. Don't tell me you're just gonna give up now. Mimosa would blush hearing this and understanding why Asta was holding back because he trusts her and she would get serious, as with the knights, with one creating a gigantic earth hand that goes to crush them, only for Asta to twist and slice through it like butter, before then leaping through the walls of earth with Mimosa following, as the magicless knight would then hold his hand out, forming a gigantic beam that then compresses before it then releases towards the crystal, and quickly the crystal mage, and earth mage, and the fire mage, they're all going together, create walls only for the barriers to then be ripped through and passing them, as it would then hit and completely destroy their crystal in an instant. Oh, I didn't hold back enough, Asta said. He and Mimosa then land, as a hooded mage on the platform, like far away, would then call the match with their team winning. Sorry, Gliss, I really wanted to hold back, Asta would yell. The Crimson Knight on Team A would then stand, saying it's no problem. I guess I just have to get stronger. Curtis, the Earth Mage, then says, he knows your name. We trained together, Gliss would say. I'm surprised he remembers me, though. Meanwhile, Zerx would then open his one eye, saying, I didn't get to do anything. And we will end this part here. Welcome to the end of the video. This is where I will be ending it off, obviously. Hope you enjoyed this part. Try to put in as much stuff as I could. Probably going to be one of the most boring parts, though, to be honest. But regardless, it probably was fun. I had fun writing it. It was much more annoying to edit, though, so that kind of sucks. I'm going to end this outro really fast. I don't want to bother anybody tonight. It's like really close to like 9 o'clock. I don't want to yell. But don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, stay updated on all of my videos, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Oh darling, if I had bought you flowers, would you still be here by my side? Yeah, I thought this moment could be ours, while I'm walking only through the night. You can break my bones, break Don't break my heart. You should fucking stay with him. You should fucking stay